going on, y'all? This is Real Talk Focus, and I am Donald, aka Don Don,
Yeah.
and this is
My name's Cesar, everybody, like you know. Welcome back to the show. This is the second episode. Today we're going to be talking about life experiences,
yeah,
things that changed us, things that changed our perspectives, our way of thinking, all that, all the deep stuff that
yeah,
really changed us or made us into who we are now.
right,
So yeah, I mean, the first thing I want to ask, at least you, Don, it's like
yeah.
what do you think, changed you from when you were younger? What
Right.
changed your perspective? Let's just say, like on friendships.
Friendships,
Yeah.
man. So I would say, being committed
Okay.
and planting the seeds of loyalty and trust.
Okay.
You know, because when I was young, I didn't think that like just building friendships when I was young was just basically just hanging out with friends, hanging out with them in school,
Right.
hanging out, interacting with them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, there comes a point where we have to understand each other, you know,
Okay.
and understand what type of characteristics we have, you know. So things about friendship to me is just being loyal, having
Okay.
loyalty and trust and just being committed to just be yourself,
Right. Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing that I've learned, with friendships,
Right. Right.
and that's really important to me because we can be dishonest,
Yeah.
we can be disloyal,
Right.
you know. So those times of just staying committed to who I'm truly am to
Yeah.
build a relationship
Right.
and with the person I'm building a relationship with,
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's I think that's the most important thing is just loyalty and trust,
Right.
you
Right.
know.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
so
what would you say is like a time that kind of, that maybe you felt disloyalty from somebody or something that changed you in a
right,
way or kind of opened your eyes about certain things about trust or about how those
right,
things that are very important within a friendship or a relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is,
right,
that kind of made you see like, oh, like people are willing to be dishonest, or like what
right.
situation have you been in that kind of
Oh
made you
man,
think of that, or kind of you know
right, yeah.
made you realize.
Oh man, there's a few of them, but I would say the one that pops in my head would just be my ex.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
she was just crazy.
Yeah.
Um, things that that she did
Right.
were just kind of crazy out of mind. Cheating on me,
Yeah.
and at the same time just speaking lies about other people.
Right.
You know, so that's just one of the examples that
Right.
opened up my eyes in that type of relationship.
Okay.
Knowing that, you can be disloyal like that,
Right.
speaking lies, cheating, so
Yeah.
going through that type of process,
Right.
it kind of sucks, of course,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
it did give me a perspective of, okay, I need to sit back and understand myself more.
Okay.
Don't just jump into something.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
I'm
Right.
saying, without fully understanding it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
For sure.
so
For sure.
that's
For sure.
I would say one of them. That's one of the experiences
Okay.
I would say, but that made my eyes open even more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then, when I was a young teenager, I had a couple people that's just, you know, more like just speaking a little bit of lies or
Right.
trying to not really show their true emotions and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Okay.
we all go through things and we try to hide it.
Right. Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but the most eye opener was that experience.
Yeah.
So
No, I feel you. Yeah. Because I mean, for me, yeah, definitely. One of my like experiences that I've been through is at least my perspective of how I saw friendships was, when I was younger, it was more of like I want to be friends with everybody. Everybody just be happy. Everybody just
right,
be cool. Everybody, just that's it. There's no reason to be, any kind of way. I thought
right,
the world was like that. It
yeah,
was just like,
yeah,
hey, hi, I'm Cesar, or and we're gonna be friends. I'll have your back, you have my back, and everything's cool. There's no reason to be any kind of dishonesty or disloyalty for no reason. Like I thought that's how the world worked.
right,
And
yes,
then as I started, having more friends and getting a little bit older, because it starts happening when you're older. You kind of
Right.
realize
Yeah.
that it starts changing in people's minds and the way we think, and also because little things that happen, and like somebody tells you, like you said, you get told lies, or somebody lies
Right.
to you over something so small, and you realize you're like, well, why lie? Why are you lying to
Right.
me? And then
Yeah.
so like one of my biggest ones, like I said, at first I accepted everybody, no matter what, which, I mean, I still do, but
Right.
now it's
Yeah.
more of like you're kind of weary,
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
worried about how they really think, you kind of have to step back and realize and kind of give them time, to get to actually know the person. I mean, that's why we get to
Yeah.
know people, but, you
Yeah.
know, uh, one of my experiences was, again, a younger friend that I had, when I was younger, really close friend. He would take me camping with him, and him, his sister, his older sister, would go camping all the time, and then it was more on my part, I would say. Like
Okay.
it was, I was taught certain things sometimes that weren't really okay,
Right.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I did something that was kind of dishonest,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
I was called out on it. I was like, why would you
Right.
do that? Why would you
Yeah. Of
do that?
course.
I'm your best friend. And I was like, oh snap, and I saw how it affected him, how it made him feel, and I was like, oh man,
Right.
okay, certain things that I was taught, or not everybody's taught that, or there's some people are not even think that way.
Right.
And so that kind of made me snap out of it, like, oh wow, okay, well I need to change this about myself. I need to kind of go away from being that way, because other people are not like that. So
Right. Yeah.
that's one of the big ones. But it was more again on my part,
Okay. Yeah.
not being honest.
Yes.
And
Yeah. It
so
happens.
that kind of made me grow. That checked me, at a young age.
Right.
And I always been a person where I wanted to be able to tell the truth, be honest, and
Right.
and
Yeah.
so when you get checked, you're like, oh, all right, I messed up, and
Right.
so um, and then as you get older, at least from me, I got plenty more where it was from other people just being
Right.
dishonest,
Yes.
or
Exactly.
um, again, a big one, relationships.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was one of my ones as well. Was you know, because again, you get older, you realize who you are, what you're about, what you put forth to a relationship. Not
Right.
lying,
Yeah.
not just being real, being honest all the time, no matter what. And that's always been a thing for me too. Is just always keeping that kind of mindset and not deviating from it. And so, as I saw people, even close friends, even a friend that I considered, to be a brother, to be,
Right. Yeah.
somebody close to me,
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
that you take them in, you're like, oh man, you have my back, I have your back,
Right.
and then you realize they do something like that you would never think,
Right.
they
Yeah.
do
It
something
happens.
very disloyal
Yeah.
and manipulating and stuff like that,
Man.
um, and you realize you're like, dang man, there's people that still need to work within themselves. There's still a
Right.
lot of whatever it is, whether it's insecurities
Right.
or some kind of maybe hate, or I don't know. Like
Yeah.
it can be that, but I feel like it's more of not being confident.
Right.
And
Exactly.
insecure.
Yeah.
And so when he did that, when he did what he did, I couldn't. I got to a point where I'm just like, I don't want to take no more disloyalty from anybody, because I grew from that.
Yeah.
Grew from being dishonest, grew from being, having to tell little petty lies and
Right. Yeah.
stuff like that, just to either get a reaction from somebody or make somebody think a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, um, yeah, when he did that, because I was, with somebody, and he's telling me, I broke up with the person,
Oh
telling me,
man.
oh hey, don't worry, bro, just forget about her, you're better now, you're all good,
Man.
don't worry, forget her, she don't know, blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
so, come to find out, I, go back to where I was living, want to start the relationship up again because I care, and want to make it work, I want to,
Yeah.
and plus, yeah, so we get back together, and you know, and then we, you know, as we're together, she starts telling me, you know, oh, you know, homeboy over here, he was, you know, sending all kinds of pics to me, you know, and I was
Oh
like,
man,
what? I was
damn,
like, I was like, he did what when,
damn,
you know, and I
yeah.
was like, damn, I was like, so at the
Oh
same time,
man,
he was telling me to, forget her and all this
yeah,
cool shit, he's over here sending her pictures, you know, and while he has a girl, while he has the whole, family thing,
yeah,
and so those kind of things, it's just it changes your
right,
perspective on certain things and friendships and how people can really be. And again, it's that thing where you kind of get weary, and like, you got to be able to, because unfortunately we get certain things within ourselves as we get older. We
right,
have certain concepts that are just negative, certain
yeah,
ideas or ways of
yep,
thinking that are just stupid, they're just absolutely dumb.
right,
It's
yeah,
selfish thoughts.
yes,
Um,
yeah,
just because we can't handle our negative stuff, we hold it in and react like a certain way that we
right.
shouldn't be,
That we shouldn't. Yeah, exactly, bro.
And
Agree.
so yeah, I mean, I called him out on it, and of course, oh, sorry, sorry, but to me, sorries are like
Right.
just fucking throwing caution to the wind, and just it's not really like whatever,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, basically, yeah,
like sorries to me are nothing now, because you know. I feel like now it's more of actions speak louder than words.
yes,
That to
I
me
agree.
is
Hell yeah,
100% actions speak louder than words. And when they're and that's why I go off of now,
yeah,
is action,
yeah,
because we can all talk, we can all just talk very good, manipulate the situation,
yeah,
make somebody try to feel a certain way, but just running our mouths, but in actuality, what really counts is the action.
yeah,
That really
yeah,
tells,
yeah.
and
That
that's
tells
where I
you.
got to a point where with myself is that to me is 100%, is seeing a person's actions. I'll be honest, I'll be loyal, and I'll be respectful, because that's the main thing. It's respect. Another thing is respect. Being able
Yeah,
to respect somebody just off the bat. Doesn't matter
right. Yeah,
where they're from. Who they are, whatever. It's
yeah,
respect all the way. And I feel if you can't respect a person right off the bat, then you have a lot to work with. You have to work with yourself a lot.
right. Yeah,
You got a lot to dig in to yourself and think and be able to think to yourself and say, well, dang, what do I need to change?
right.
Like
I agree.
right off the bat, sometimes we'll think crazy things, or like we'll judge a person in an instant.
Right.
In
Yeah,
an
it
instant,
happens.
we'll just look
Yeah.
at somebody. Nope. I don't know if I want to talk to that person. Boom, but in an instant, I'm not going to talk to this person because they think this, or they look like this, or they listen to
Right.
this music, or because they, like
Yeah.
crazy things that
Bas-
we don't, based on things that are not even,
right.
you know.
Yeah. That I man, what you just said, man, just everything. Just
Yeah.
it's so true, bro.
Right.
Because I think we get into those moments where like, well, you don't look like me, you don't dress like me, you don't
Exactly.
act like me,
Yeah.
you don't live like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we do get that mindset,
Right.
and we, you know, I mean, it does happen. We're human,
Yeah.
devalue, degrade somebody.
Right.
I'm saying because
Right.
they don't look like me,
Right.
you know,
And then
and it's
like,
like,
and then that's when you realize, that things and how we think as we
right,
grow up change a lot. When we're
yeah,
younger, we don't look at those things. We just
right,
look
yeah,
about like, oh, we want to have friends. We want to, be cool with everybody. We want to be accepted. I mean, we all still want to. We want
right,
that.
yeah,
But we get into, like you said, the other episode. We get into our shells.
yes,
We get into these
yeah,
shells that like we build, and these monumental walls that we build, over
yes,
ourselves, just because we think, oh, that protects us. We're gonna, this is
right,
protection. So people can't hurt me, and that also shows right there how weak we can be at times.
oh yeah,
Very weak.
yeah,
At times,
yeah,
um, and that's where you see that we need growth as individuals sometimes, and and yeah, I mean, man, I don't know, like that's why now, it's more of, like I said, you got to show me what's up.
yeah,
I'll
because
show you 100%. I will be 100% with you. I'll
yeah,
be honest. I'll honor you. I'll respect. I'll, be there. But as soon as I see some sign of like disloyalty or dishonor, I just gotta cut it off. I can't,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it shouldn't be like a scientific thing. It's not,
Right.
rocket science.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
somebody's
For
loyal to
real.
you, respectful, respect back. Yeah, that's like a given. It should be a given. It shouldn't be a thing where, oh, I need to think about this. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's because I think we're just at that age in life where we just recognize those things,
Right.
and it's things that we haven't recognized before.
Yeah.
Because at that time, it's pretty with my experience is just being human and having sometimes you get that ignorant mindset,
Yeah. Exactly.
you know. But now I'm at that age where it's like, be more open to other people,
Yeah.
understand other people's backgrounds
Yeah.
and their belief systems,
Right.
understand
Right.
how they are raised and their perspective
Exactly.
based on
Yeah.
how they live their life and the
Right.
experiences they went through,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And I'm at that age where, I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
you know, teach me something, you know,
Right. Right.
because as a grown man, I mean, it's all about being disciplined,
Yeah.
and being grown man is hard to say that word discipline.
Right. Just being
You know what I'm saying?
just growing.
Yeah,
like
just
as
growing.
a person, a
Exactly.
human being.
Yeah.
We got to
Yeah.
be able to be disciplined within our lives. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what discipline comes, like you just said about the growth
Right.
and everything.
It-
That comes with self-discipline.
Right.
You know?
And that certain experiences, like honestly, uh, going through, it's good to go through like setbacks.
Oh yeah.
It's good to
I
get
agree.
into certain situations where you feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like even like in all kinds of situations. Like in my case, there's been jobs that I didn't know what it was about.
Right.
I didn't realize, I didn't know nothing, about the job, new
Right.
people, new
Yeah.
personalities, all that, but I didn't shut myself off. I didn't say, oh no,
Right.
well, it's not my thing, or it's not
Right.
what me, or it's not, what I do, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You got to dive into certain situations because it builds character. It
Yes.
builds, strength, like mental strength, and it builds your personality again, character.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, oh man, that's why I'm kind of happy that I put myself in those positions, because I've had all kinds of jobs.
Right.
I've had the burger joints.
Oh
I
yeah.
had
Yeah.
woodworking, where I cut my fingers a little bit.
Man.
Did that, building cabinets and stuff like that. What else? Oh, cleaning, like office cleaning and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Those things, you got to experience those things. You got to experience different positions, different aspects of life and our society at times, to kind of build yourself and build understanding of others and
Yeah.
what others go through and stuff like that. You can't always just say, oh, well, I understand. You got to sometimes put yourself
Put yourself in it.
in it,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think those experiences have really changed and have helped me grow, as a person,
Right.
and open my eyes to just how we all live, how we can live, and how we can think.
Yeah.
And also, like you were saying in a past show, how we grow up with siblings, and
Yeah.
and when our parents are split up, when
Right.
we just grow with one parent, or we have separate parents, because they separated at a young age. That affects us very much.
Yes.
That affects
Yeah.
us very, 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 very much. I can't express how much that, as when we're children, how either not having your mother there or not having a father there, how that changes your perspective in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Relationships
Yeah.
with friends, or when you get with somebody,
Yeah.
how you look at certain relationships and how you think they should be. Yeah, those experiences have, they changed me for a while, and put negative thoughts at times. But then,
Right.
if you're able to kind of think back and really track back and think like, why do I think this way, or why do I feel this way, or why am I always getting with this kind of person, or why am I always attracting this kind of person? You
Yeah.
kind of, you really have to think why, and it all falls back to how we grew up when we were kids and what we experienced and how we were treated and
Right.
all that
Yes.
stuff. That's why I say,
Yeah.
man, it's having children is not no joke, not whatsoever,
Man.
and that's one thing that our society has been so light about. It's like, oh, I have a kid, whatever,
Right.
but we don't
Yeah.
realize how bad we affect we get affected by not having the proper guidance,
Yes.
not having both our parents there.
Right.
And that just falls back to it's a cycle that it's a vicious cycle that's been happening for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I think we should start kind of getting a hold of and really understanding that it's not a joke. It's not something that should be
Right.
taken lightly.
Yeah.
Because again, when we're young, what do we want? We want attention. We want our parents to see us. We want to be accepted. We want to be
Right.
loved. We want to be taken care of. All that stuff that really comes with you know, with being nurtured,
Right.
as a kid.
Yeah.
And then if we don't get certain things, if we don't get those, we become a certain way. We
Right.
get very hard, or we
Yes.
get very soft, or we get very either become the victim, or become the mad person, or become the person that just is quiet, puts their head down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I know what you
we
mean,
create
yeah.
we created people that are just not consistent, with how we are, how we act, and how we,
Right.
you know, and it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious thing because it creates a lot of, again, like I said, inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So that's
So,
one major
man.
experience that I went through that I always go back on. That
Yeah.
I look back on, and that I kind of pick off and like, oh, okay, this is why I was like this, or this is why I acted like this for some time.
Right.
Okay, this happened to me when I was younger, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But then that's the
agree.
time when you're able to grow, when you're really able to choose, because life is
Right.
a choice.
It's
you
a
know what I'm
choice.
saying?
Yeah,
you
you
can
choose.
choose.
You
and
choose.
and
Yep.
the way anybody wants to lead their life, that's 100% okay. But again, you can't always expect people to feel either sorry for you or feel like, oh, well, nobody against me. But you're not trying. You're not trying to reach out. You're not trying to communicate. You're not trying to express yourself truly.
Right.
Or really get down to the nitty gritty, the stuff that changed you, the stuff that
Right.
hurt you when you were young. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trying to fix it. Sometimes we think we could just, whatever it happened, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put it in the back of my mind like it never happened. But
Yeah.
no, that's doing some damage, some real
Right.
damage.
Right.
So yeah, that's one big one that I always go back on. That's one of my biggest experiences for me.
Yeah.
That
That's
I always
crazy.
go back on, and it helps me always grow and realize and checks myself, and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to kind of stop acting this way, or stop acting kind of, in a childish or kind of negative way.
Right.
So yeah, that's one major experience is growing up
Right.
and not having either proper guidance or just having parents that themselves weren't guided properly.
Right.
Because then that's just a
Yes.
trickle effect.
That's
it's a domino effect.
Domino. Yes. Exactly.
So and
Yeah.
you go back and you realize, and then it takes some time sometimes as parents to realize that too, and our parents to realize that how
Yeah.
they messed
Yeah.
up. They're like, oh man, okay, yeah, you're right, I did mess up. My
Right.
bad. I'm sorry. Oh, that's all I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
all I needed to hear. Now
Yeah.
now we're communicating. Now we're talking.
communicating. Yes. Yeah.
And so yeah, that's a major one, and I feel that could be a major one for a lot of people too.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Man.
That
that's-
experience.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
Because with my mom raised all of us with no father figure,
Right.
no
right.
role model,
Yeah.
and I had 3 older brothers at the time when I was a kid, when I was young.
Yeah.
But my 3 other brothers are all caught up into the streets.
Right. Right.
They're
Gotcha.
caught up with the negative influences.
Mm,
So I
Right.
didn't have a father figure.
right.
My mom was just my mom, and she can't really play the father role really.
No. Yeah. No.
You
It's
know?
just, it's like it
So-
said, man. It's hard for a woman to raise a man.
Right.
Yeah.
So I looked at my 3 older siblings,
Right.
but like I said, they're caught up in the streets, and
Right.
I didn't want to get into that type of position in life.
Yeah. The wrong guidance.
Yeah, the wrong guidance, exactly. So I was raised with a lot of siblings, yeah, but they took their different paths. So
Mhm.
it was the same home, but different paths.
Right.
So so it was a little bit rough in a way. Good times, a lot of good times, but at the same time, it was rough as far as not having that proper guidance,
Right.
like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that put a little bit of effect on me a little bit at the time,
Right.
because then when you look over at the older siblings, you're like, oh, okay, they can somehow lead me
Yeah.
and guide me in a way,
Yeah.
but I just felt more like, okay, I need to start, as I got older, I got to start holding accountability.
Yeah,
for my
exactly. Yeah,
choices.
exactly. Yeah.
You know, I gotta be accountable
Yeah, yeah.
for the choices I make and be fully accountable for the consequences that comes with those choices.
Right.
You
Right.
know, and it was hard for me at that time to recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Yep.
even till being a grown man till this day, I gotta keep reminding myself I got to hold accountability for my actions
Right.
and my choices.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it gets rough because you know, I mean, coming from being grown now and stuff, and still growing because life is just a growing process.
Right,
You know,
right,
life
right.
itself is discovery and growing and maturing and
Yeah, yeah.
developing.
Yeah.
So like even to this day, I got to keep reminding myself, be
Yeah.
accountable.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
and you know, I mean, we have the free will to make a choice, but
Right.
remember, each choice, no matter if it's positive or negative, there's consequences.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
no, big time, man. And yeah, man, those experiences, especially like we were just saying, growing up with the not the proper, not having parents that were together and not
right,
100%, up here, and then themselves weren't grown yet. They might be
right,
grown ups. We might grow, get older, and have a car and be able to pay for our bills and all that stuff, but that doesn't mean we're grown.
right.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Honestly,
There's many
uh,
things about growing. Your
but
characteristics,
yeah,
you know, your abilities.
but yeah, I mean that's definitely one of the major ones. It's those experiences of growing up, and growing up in a, I guess you can say broken home,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, when things are not 100%, when the
Right.
individuals are not 100.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Wooden spoons and clay spoons. You know,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, and another experience for me. Well, I mean, that relationship one, that of course, that one was more recent than anything. That
Oh,
kind of
okay.
made me realize that I can't always put um, my. I mean, it's good to put your 100%,
Right,
but it's not good to put your 100% when you know that other person is not putting their 100%. You know what I mean?
right,
Because there's it got to that point where it was just I was putting 100%, and then I realized, with the friend that I had at that time, he wasn't putting his 100. It was false.
damn.
It was, obviously it was fake, and so, but it's just sometimes people choose to fake it real good, and
Right,
they know how to manipulate, those things. It's the
man.
the manipulation part that people get into, and why they choose to get into that mindset is beyond me. It boggles
Right,
my mind.
right,
I've never gotten that, like, because I've even experienced that stuff from my own parent at times, where
yeah,
try to be very manipulating at times about certain things, and you catch on to it later on, so that whole thing of manipulation is whack,
right.
is pointless, because at the end of the day, eventually people are going to catch on to it, and they're going to see how false you are.
Yes,
And I
yeah,
not might be quickly, but over
yeah,
the years you will
yeah.
reveal yourself to be a phony.
In time,
Yeah,
reveal itself on its own.
exactly. And so experiencing that,
Yeah,
experiencing people who are that way was a great thing too. I always take everything as a lesson, and something that's good, even if it was bad, because it showed
right,
me that kind of mindset is out there. Those people are out there that are just, or maybe they were just taught that way, and then
right,
realized,
yeah,
never got checked, never got, you know, put in their place,
right,
in a sense of, sometimes it takes people to realize that when they don't have nobody around them anymore.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And they're
yeah,
like, oh, snap. Well, nobody wants to be around me anymore. I wonder why.
yeah.
Let me think. you know?
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
crazy because that's so true because we don't recognize and appreciate the things until it's gone.
Right.
You
That
know?
simple saying right there. And
Yeah,
that's a saying, that common saying, we don't
yeah,
appreciate things until it's gone, which
yeah,
is 100% true.
right.
And it falls down to all that.
Oh, it falls down to
You know?
everything, all that category.
Yeah, yeah. And, but yeah, I mean, that, experiencing that,
Yeah,
and then experiencing, again, when you put your 100% into a person or into a relationship,
right.
and then you realize they're not putting their 100%. For me, I had to realize that at times it's okay to just say bye.
Yes, yeah,
To say, you
exactly.
know what, bye.
Yep.
Done, 100%
Yeah,
done. Bye. And then from there, hopefully they grow. It's not that I have hatred for them or I hate them, because no, that's not the point here.
Right.
The point is not that. It's just, you know what? Some people need some time,
Yeah.
some true time to check themselves, to
Right.
realize,
Yeah.
hey, I messed up. I messed up big time. And I keep messing up. Well, dang, maybe I do need to change, or something needs to change.
Right.
It's like some people really need that time, that to be by themselves, do for themselves, by themselves,
Yeah. It's
and to truly grasp how they've been thinking and how they've been hurting or pushing people away.
right. Exactly.
Yeah,
I believe I agree, bro. It's all about like you were just saying, all about that self reflection,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what it is.
And then
And
yeah. So experiencing people that are like that are selfish, experiencing people that are selfish,
right.
like one-hearted. They can talk great and make you feel great
Oh
and
yeah.
da, da, da,
Yeah.
whatever, but still very selfish when it comes to how they treat you. The things that you need as a person at times. Because sometimes we need certain things. Like respect.
Right.
And integrity, not to be treated a certain way, not to be talked to a certain way. You know, and sometimes for some of us, it's hard to. I don't know why, but for some of us, it's hard to be like, okay, well, I respect that about you. I will not do that to you. I won't do this to you. I won't talk to you a certain way
Yeah.
because you don't like that. You don't talk that way. But you know what? I will do my best to not do that to you. And I understand. So some of us grow up in certain situations in
Right.
certain ways. That are very. At times, some of us are not used to it. But that's when we, like you say, you have to self-reflect and be be willing to say, okay, that person's not used to this, so you know what, I'm not going to treat him like that because he doesn't like it or they don't or
Hmm.
she don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And be
Yeah.
able to really respect that. But that's when you realize when somebody doesn't respect you, is when they continue and continue to
Yes.
disrespect that,
Yeah.
even if it's something small like calling you names. Like some people take that very very strongly. He's like, I don't call me no names. I'm not calling you names. I'm not
Right.
calling you out of your name. I'm not disrespecting you that way.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
some of us take that very, you know, you know, to heart. It's like, especially if it's
Right.
coming to somebody that you respect. I get there's play. There's a time to play and mess around and BS and
Oh yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
But there's a time to BS, but then there's a time where it's like it goes past that.
Yeah. Of course, it
And
gets
some people,
serious.
some people just choose to push the limit.
Yeah. Did they try to push your boundaries? You
And
know.
so yeah, I mean it's that
Like.
experiencing those things.
Yeah.
Um, but again, it just helps me grow even more, helps me understand even more, um, that thinking positive thinking, having respect for somebody, having integrity,
Yeah.
honor for somebody, those I feel like those concepts, those words are getting lost nowadays.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like truly, some people don't even understand the meaning of honoring somebody or having
Right.
integrity or having respect. They really
Right.
don't. Some people don't like they. Some people just need to get checked very, very often at times, and sometimes, and that's the thing. Some people don't like it, but then I don't know. Like that's when you need to self-reflect and be like, well, dang, like this person's right. I messed up, and be
Right.
able to do that. I know it's so hard for
Yeah. It's
some of
hard.
us.
Yeah.
It's so hard
Yeah.
to be like, I am sorry, I messed up, please, like.
Right.
But then it can't go into the whole just always the way it is or the way it
Right.
was or
Right.
it can't be that way. And some of us need to see some consistency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's
yeah,
true.
man. I mean, those things, and those are the major ones for me that experience that when I experienced those kind of things through, either if I afflicted it and I realized how I made somebody feel, I was like, oh dang, I messed up. Like
Right.
I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't act this way. And I'm quick to change it. And it should always be like that way. For all
Yeah.
of us. Should be able to, when you mess up, be able to check yourself and be like, dang, I messed up. Apologize and then let it come from here. Not
Right.
just because you want to make that person feel happy.
Right.
Say,
Yeah. Exactly.
my bad. I messed up. But
Right.
whatever you choose, if you still want to be with me, or if you still want to be my homie, you still want to be whatever the case is,
Right.
be able to say, I'm sorry, but and be able to accept whatever their reaction is. Like you're saying,
Right.
be able
Yeah.
to face the consequences,
Yes.
whether it's good or bad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know,
Yeah.
like there was a time where I messed up big time. I was in a relationship, and acting crazy, and
Right.
I did something wild, and you know, broke a windshield, and
Man.
I messed up,
Right.
but I realized that I didn't have to take it that far. I
Right.
messed up, and I was just in the wrong mindset, and
That's
being drunk
right.
and
Yeah.
sometimes just choosing the wrong situations and the wrong timing to react is just sometimes you
Right.
get stuck, you messed up, and you're like, dang. But being able to go back and check yourself and say, you know what, I messed up, and truly
Right.
let it come from the heart, but then truly accept whatever comes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Yeah.
whatever, and I made my mistake. I apologize. It was from the heart, and it came out to being a good situation. It came out to
Right.
being, a good outcome.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
mean, it's those things, being able to face the
Yes.
consequences, regardless, like you said, whether they're good or bad.
Right.
And we got to take all these experiences and really try to grasp what is happening there. The growth that's there. The
Right.
possibility to learn something new. And get away from a certain mindset, or what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agree.
yeah, man.
Totally agree, man.
Yeah,
So, man, yeah, it's deep. You know,
yeah,
it's deep, especially becoming at this age and recognizing your faults,
yeah,
recognizing your weaknesses,
yeah,
recognizing your past failures,
yeah.
even till this day.
Right,
So, man, it's incredible to talk about this,
right.
to dig
Yeah,
deep into it, and to recognize these things.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Experiences, man. Like they have so much growth, and every experience that you go through, whether it's bad, even if you're dealing with a bad boyfriend, a bad girlfriend, there's always
yeah,
something good to be learned there.
yes, of
There's always
course,
growth. You don't have to shut yourself out, or you have to change yourself 100%.
right,
You can't lose
right,
your essence, of who you are,
right,
who you truly are. When we're young, we're just pure essence.
yeah,
We're accepting, we're loving, we're caring, we're all that, what I'm saying? And then we slowly start, like you said earlier, you start putting yourself into the shell, and you feel like you just
yeah,
can't do that. You can't trust nobody. At times it's like that, but you don't necessarily, it doesn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying?
right, yes,
Um,
dang,
because I believe if we're able to um, truly, like we said, check ourselves, be
right,
accountable, like you said,
yes,
for our actions, what we choose to say, how we choose to do, and what we do, and we're accountable, and we hold ourselves accountable, and we make the mistake or whatever it is, but then really change it and not do it again, because it's
right.
possible to make a
Of
mistake,
course, it happens.
but then not do it ever again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if you
Yeah.
continue doing it over again, it's because you're choosing
You
to.
choosing to, yeah,
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 it's that choice. It's that choice
yep,
thing again,
yeah,
and you're just choosing to be that way. Because you are putting people aside and saying, I don't care what they say. I don't care. Whatever. I said
right,
I'm sorry, so whatever. Oh, you don't apologize. Oh, you don't accept my apology right away. Okay, whatever. Then I'm gonna keep
yeah,
on being me. Nah. Um. Yeah, man. Life experiences are just great.
right,
I feel like every experience that we go through, we should, whether if it's bad, take it with a grain of salt. If it's
right,
good, take it all in as much as
yeah,
you can.
yeah,
When we can, and be able to know how to face fails and
yes,
accept failure. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? That's
because
another thing that I had to accept.
yeah,
And that was
I agree.
one thing. It was younger when I was younger. And it was small now when I think about it, but I was trying out for the basketball team in middle school and all that.
Oh, okay, yeah,
And because oh man, the experiences. I just made me think about the homeboy that uh, that kind of he got me into playing basketball. I lived down the road, not too far from where I live now, and
man,
and he lived across the street. And then he came over to my side of the street because he lived on the other side, and there was a basketball hoop right there that one of the neighbors had, and he was doing his thing, and I
yeah,
went up to him, hey man, can I play with you?
yeah,
And I never really played basketball that like how he was playing, and he had all the moves and everything like that. By the way, light bulb, that's for you, homie. Yep. So yeah, we he started showing me, how to play and certain moves, and so we, started getting good, and and then from there, we started getting to the point where we were playing, the high school kids, over at the park,
Shit.
schooling them, showing them what's up,
Yeah.
and but yeah, but then I was in school, and then tried out for the basketball team. And then the funny thing is that the coach, as we were all trying out, we were playing the game,
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, I didn't make the cut, and he's like, I went up to him, I was like, why didn't I make it? What happened? What's up? I thought I was doing good,
Yeah.
he straight up said, you played too straight. I was like, what? What? I was like,
You
well,
play too street.
or what does that mean? Like, am I good or am I not? Like, what do you mean if I play to the street? Like, you
Yeah.
could have given me a chance. You could have let me on the team, bro.
Right, and one.
I guess that's what the thing. He's like, you're just doing too many illegal moves. But still, I mean, you could have given me a chance. You could have given me a chance. No. But it's just like you play too street, and I was like, dang, it killed me inside, for a little bit, for the night, and I was just like, went home and made it with the tea, but it was cool, because then the good thing, at that time, our dad, he showed us really some good stuff, it was
Right, that's good.
it's good to have a parent that's that is trying to change, that is making his changes and trying to build a positive mindset within himself, and try to, project that as well to his kids, and don't give up, it's okay, don't worry, just that whole concept of never giving up no matter what happens,
Right.
no matter what, never give up,
Yeah.
that has always stuck, those concepts were always 100% pure and real to me since they were put into my mind. And they're real even now because it's the truth. You
It
can
is.
never
Never.
give up.
Never.
But
Never.
yeah, and so I kind of
Yeah.
I felt down for a while, and but then keeping that in my mind, like, okay, no, it's all good. It doesn't mean I have to stop playing basketball. It doesn't mean.
Right.
And I did it. I got back together with the homie, and we just started doing our thing how we always did, and at the parks, just started playing against people, but. Accepting those failures, accepting those ones that you just, that hurt you at times, and just like, oh,
Yeah.
and
I
then
agree.
sometimes it's okay, you could go back, try again later, I didn't try again later because I was just like, whatever.
You're like,
I was
that's
like,
it.
whatever, all right,
Yeah.
whatever, man. It's okay, but I'm gonna still play. I'm gonna play street then.
Right, yeah. Keep playing street.
Because I did, I loved
Yeah.
M1. I love the whole M1. I don't know if a lot of you remember that, but
Yeah, that's back in
N1,
the day, yeah.
man,
Yeah.
hot
And
sauce.
hot sauce.
Yeah, that was the man right there. Hot sauce. That was the one.
Was it like Dr.
I-
Freeze or something like that? I can't remember.
oh, man,
Something
there's so
Freeze.
many. There was,
I can remember, but he was dope.
hot. Oh man, I forget.
Me too. I forgot the names, but because my brother used to have like tapes on him.
Yeah, I
And
would
just,
review all of them,
just
man.
watch them,
I
like-
would review every. And as a matter of fact, I played with your brother. We played against him
Oh,
so many
that's
times.
right. Yeah.
We played against him. We beat him so many times too. So yeah, we're just little middle school kids, just schooling people around. He showed me all the moves. We were just getting it,
Yeah.
but it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah,
And
what's up?
those things too, man. Those things are being lost nowadays. I feel like
Right.
when we
Yeah.
used to just play
Yeah.
outside.
The interaction.
Yeah,
The
man.
interacting with each other.
Man.
Building things outside, being creative, coming up with
or-
innovative
or
solutions.
or just like
you
just
know?
journey, just taking a journey
just taking a
outside,
journey.
going to places that you never went to, and things are getting fenced off now. You can't even go into the forest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go track through the forest, and whatever. But it was, man, yeah, it was just
Yeah.
crazy.
The-
Well, not crazy. It was just that whole concept of, we're getting so used to just everything, on our phones right there, right there,
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
When it shouldn't be that way. Like, we need to be able to interact with each other a little bit more.
Right, and that's what I missed.
You know,
Because back in the
yeah.
days, it was more about interaction.
Yeah.
There wasn't no Facebook at our time.
That's
There wasn't no Instagram or Twitter.
you know,
It was like, boy,
Those-
get outside, hang
Yeah.
out, meet new friends, meet new people,
yeah,
and just interaction.
yeah. And those experiences were just, man,
yeah.
those were
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That again, that goes back into just how I build character.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that was accepting failure, interacting with each other, meeting new people.
Yeah.
Those things are precious. Those things are just what we need as human beings. We need
Yeah.
those deeply, because we do, regardless, even when we get older. I don't
Right.
care what anybody says. We all want to be accepted. We all want to
Yeah.
be seen. We all want to be cared for. That's why we get into relationships.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why
Yeah.
we have girlfriends, we have boyfriends, because we want to be loved, we want to be cared for, we want to be seen, we want to be, oh baby, what's up? How are you, my love? I love you.
Yeah.
Mwah. Oh, I missed you.
Yeah.
All that
That's
good
how it's
shit.
supposed to be.
So that's why the human interaction that is needed within
Right.
us. That is needed.
Right.
That's why we seek certain groups. We want to be a part of a group
Yeah.
when we're in high school.
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Different cliques
Oh,
or
and,
whatever.
and in high school was just a whole another
Yeah,
experience.
yeah, high
like
school
it was
was
just
just,
one of
man.
those experiences where, like, again, you want to seek, you try to find that group that you fit into.
Right, that you fit into.
You
and
try to
stuff,
find, because again, we all want to be accepted, man. We all want to
Right.
be accepted. We all want to be, you know,
Yeah.
uh, we all want to be loved, man. And so yeah, I mean, those experiences are just.
Yeah.
We should all see those experiences, remember our experiences, try to build off of them, try to,
Right.
dig into ourselves, dig into our chests, you know what I'm saying, where it really
Yeah.
hurts sometimes. And
Yeah. Yeah.
dig in there and remember those things and change, truly do it. Not just because,
Yeah. Do it for yourself.
yeah.
Do
Yeah.
it because you choose to do it.
Yeah, and
Because that's the thing with experiences as well. I was gonna put in
Yeah.
was that don't let other people define who you are
Right.
based on your experiences at those times,
Right.
or based on your condition
Yeah.
or your circumstances.
Right.
Because I believe that when we go through failures and setbacks, those are the times that it discovers how powerful we can be.
Yeah.
Because failure empowers us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It strengthens us.
Big
Mentally,
time.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
Yeah.
So, who's ever listening, just remember that setbacks is part of the plan as well.
That's right.
know,
Yeah. Part of the plan.
Failure is
Exactly.
part of the plan.
Yeah.
It's part of your dreams.
That's
It's
right.
part of your purpose.
Yep.
It's part of your destiny. However
right.
you look at it.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I just had to say that,
No, it's true,
because
man.
I don't want nobody with their head down thinking that, oh, I'm still going through these setbacks.
Right.
Well, the setback it's happening, and the failures are happening because it's just empowering you. You're
Yeah.
under construction.
That's right.
You gotta wait.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're building your foundation.
Exactly. And when you build that foundation, then
Yeah.
it's gonna create architectural designs
Yeah.
that's gonna bring you into your dreams.
Yeah.
And the architects, that's basically you're gonna discover
Right.
the power you're gonna discover,
Yeah.
the new ambition you're gonna discover.
Yeah, things about
You
you
know?
that you didn't think you could do or accomplish or finish, or you know what I mean. And if you stick to it, you'll see how you can. And
Right.
again, take every experience that you go through, and dig deep into those experiences, finish them. If you fail, you fail. It's all good,
Yes.
But build from that.
Build it.
Don't let it
Yeah.
drop you down. Don't let it demolish your foundation.
Right.
Don't just help it build your foundation so you can make it stronger. So once you build that building, your foundation is solid. Everything that you experience, everything that you went through, is nothing can break it. Nothing, no matter what happens.
Yeah. So true.
But yeah, man. I mean,
So,
like we said, keep pushing.
right.
Keep seeking truth within yourself. Never give up.
Yes.
Always push forward.
Yes.
Take every experience that you go through in life and take it in, no matter if you fail, like we said, and push forward. Always push forward. And like it was said, and I think it was Denzel Washington, he said, fall forward. Always fall forward.
Yes.
No matter what happens.
Agreed.
And that's 100%. That's 100%.
right.
That's
100, man.
true. Yeah, if you're
100.
gonna fall, always fall forward. Never
Yes.
never fall back. Never fall back. Never track back. Never.
Right.
I know sometimes we do, but remember, recognize those failures, and then build off of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agree, man.
Right.
Yeah. So this is Real Talk Focus.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for tuning in. This is the second episode, which is past experiences. I hope you learned something from it, or got one thing out of it,
That's right.
and just learn. We're all here to learn and adapt. So thank you.
All right, guys.
So,
We'll see you on the next one.
yeah. Peace.